Hi guys, in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to design a stunning social media post in Photoshop. So these are the files that we'll be using for the design, and then I've opened a text file over here. So now let's get started. So I have my worksheet name. I've given my worksheet a name, and then it has a width of 2000 pixels and then a height of 2000 pixels with a resolution of 300. So now let's select create, and then here's our worksheet. Before we start the flyer designs, let's first add our guides. Let's add our guides here like this. Okay, and then let's drag our image onto our worksheet and then enlarge it. So let's enlarge it this way. Okay, this is okay for me. Okay. So after enlarging it, what we do is we have to add some slide effect in camera raw. So now I've opened my camera raw. The thing that we'll be doing over here is to just select the first thing, to select the auto, and then let's go to details, increase the sharpness to, let's say, 126, and then let's increase the noise reduction as well, and then color noise reduction, a little bit of it. Now let's select okay. Nice. Now that we are done, okay, so here's the before and then here's the after. Now the next thing to do is to cut out the subject from its background. So let's cut this lady out of the background. So I'll select this and then select subject. Now Photoshop will do its calculation and then make a selection of the background. When it's done, I'll press Ctrl J to duplicate it, to cut it out from the background rather. Okay. So now we have our subject cut out like this. Now the next thing to do is to let's add a rectangle over here, a white rectangle. So we'll be using this rectangle, replacing our logo and then our social media handles over here. Okay, so now that we are done with this, let's add a solid color, and then let's give it a color code of F6 5D and then 82. Yeah. Let's use this color code, but then it should be beneath the rectangle layer. So let's make sure the white part is selected, and then select your gradient tool like this. So after selecting the gradient tool, make sure over here it's from black to white. So if yours isn't starting from black to white, just click and then select basic and select this, so black to white. Okay, so now that we've selected our gradient, you make sure the layer mask is selected over here. No. Okay, make sure the layer mask is selected over here, and then let's click and hold and drag it this way. Okay, yeah, I think this is cool for me. It's okay for me. Now I'm done with with the solid color, and then I've added the gradient effect. I'll select this, add the settings, and name it baby, stand for background. Okay. Mm, yeah. Now we've imported our image, we've added our solid color and then added the gradient effect to it as well. So now the next thing is to add the Instagram 3D icon. Here's the Instagram 3D icon. Just drag it onto my worksheet. Make sure that it's in the background group, and then I'll reduce its size like this a little. Reduce the size and then place it here. But then I have to make sure that the 3D Instagram icon, it's beneath the rectangle layer. Now I will enlarge it just a little bit. It's okay for me. And then what I'll do next is to give it a Gaussian blur, to add a Gaussian blur to the 3D Instagram icon. So I'll select filter and come to blur and then select the Gaussian blur over here. Now this is too much, so I'll reduce it to, let's say, I think 5 is okay for this one. So let's use 5 here. Yes, and then let's push it down a little bit. Now let's press Ctrl J to duplicate our 3D icon, and then I'll press Ctrl T to bring back the transformation to the transformation option, and then right click on the 3D icon and select flip horizontal. So once it has been flipped, I'll just select this side and rotate it just a little bit. Then place it here, but then I'll have to enlarge it. Let me enlarge it. Okay, this is okay for me. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Let me reduce it a little bit. Okay, so now click here and then double click on the Gaussian blur option and let's increase the size. So I'll go with, let's try 29 and see. Yeah, 29 is okay. Let's use 23 or 22. Let's go with 22 and then select okay. So now we are left with the last 3D Instagram icon. So I'll duplicate this one and then reduce. Oh no, let me delete this one and then duplicate this icon rather. By duplicating it, I'll reduce the size and then place it just after our subject. So it will be at the back of our subject like this. Then let's reduce it a little bit. Okay, and then let's change the Gaussian blur number. Let's increase it to 7. Let's use just 7. Okay, so this is okay for me. Yeah, I think we are good to go. So now we are done with our 3D Instagram icons, and then the next thing to do is to add our text. So now let's add our text here. So I'll select the type tool and then copy the main text, which is dreams, boats, and hills. So you can then type out and then paste the so let's say dreams, boats, and hair. I don't like this font, so let's change the font style to, let's say, Gotham Black. Regular will be okay, and then let's give it a V of, let's say, yeah, -50 is okay for me. But then let's change the size to, let's say, something like 49, and then let's change the color first, and then let's reduce the space in between each word. So let's go with 30. No, 36 is too close. Let's choose 40. I think 40 is okay, but then I'd have to change the ant over here to, let's use, let's do this one as well. So now that I'm done with the text, I'll bring it down a little bit. Let's see, it should match her forehead. Yeah. Come, let me turn this one off again. Okay. Sure. So something like this is okay for me. Yeah. So we've added the dreams, goals, and here. And the next test to add is the register now. And before we add the register now, we would have to do this one and then name it empty, which stands for main text. Let's select a rectangle and then let's draw a rectangle. I think this is okay. So now let me duplicate the rectangle and then drag it down like this. So now the next thing for me to do is to add a register now text. So the register now text, then select my type tool and then type out the register now. I don't want the same font size, so I'll have to reduce it, but then to be the same font style, but then I'll go with the medium one, which is Gotham medium. Let's give it a size of, let's say, 29. Yeah, I think 29 is okay. Or is it too big? Okay, no, let's go with 27. 27 is okay. Let's reduce it. Let's reduce it. Something around 24. Cool. And let's go with 30. The space in between, let's go with 30 and let's see whether that will be okay. Yeah. Is that okay? Okay, let's do it. Let's go with 34. And then push this one up a little bit side. Let's go with 30. Oh, sorry. Let's go with 30. No, let's add some about 30. It's cool. No. Let's do it this way. And then let's adjust the rectangle shape over here as well. So this is okay for me. Now I think we'd have to increase size a little bit, so something like this isn't bad at all. So this is okay for me. And then let's change the color of the rectangles. Now let's give it a color code of, let's say, about something like 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so let's use this color code for the rectangles. Nice. Fly is looking good. Now we are done with the register now. So we are moving on to the date and then Instagram live and then the time. Now let's give it, let's add a rectangle for that. But before we do it, let's group this one and then name it register now. So now I'll select my rectangle shape. Then draw a rectangle like this. It shouldn't be that big though, but you let me increase the size a little bit. nice. And then we duplicate the rectangle, select the one beneath it, and then press Ctrl T and enlarge it like so. Now let me change the first rectangle, the color of the first rectangle to this color, and then with the second one, the bigger rectangle, we'll, we'll, we'll give it a fill of 0%, and then we select the FXC and then stroke. And then let's give it a stroke of, let's change it. Okay, let's maintain this and let's give it a stroke of, I think 8 is okay for me. Oh, no, let's change it. Let's go with 5. Let's maintain the 8. Let's maintain the 8. But then let's close this. Okay. So something like this is okay for me. Okay. So let's select these two items and then push them up a little bit like this. We'll be adding the date over here and then the Instagram live text and then the time over here. Now let me select the date. I'll select my title and then type out the date. This is the date over here. Reduce size. Let me resize it again. And then place it in the middle of the rectangle. Okay, I think this is cool. Now let me duplicate the date again and then copy this text and paste them here. So we have our Instagram live text over here. Let me add it a little bit. Okay. But then the space between the Instagram live and then the time, I'll have to reduce the size. So let's go with, let's say 16 or 18. Okay, let's go with 18. I think there is a lot of space at the bottom, so let's push the Instagram live down a little bit. The size or rectangle. So now we are done with this part as well. Let me copy this and then give it a name and give it an Instagram live. Okay, so now the next thing here is to add their websites. It's just a company name it's just a company name that came in mind. They are not real. It's a fiction company, so and I just gave it the name as in women empowerment. Reduce the size to something like this. Okay, then push it up, place it here, reduce it. Okay, yeah, now first looking, now we have our website in place. The only thing left is the logo and then our social media handles. So with the logo, I have an icon over which is the feminism symbol. I downloaded it from Google. So I'll just add the name of the company, which is African Women Empowerment. So I think the icon is okay. Then I'll give the icon the same color as the rectangles over here. So now Now here's my logo. Let me group these ones and then name them info. Nice. Now I'll change the color of the logo to something like the color of the rectangles over here. So I'll select the FX, and then select color overlay and change its color to this. Nice. Now let's add the company's name to and then the color is white. So let me change the color. And then let's change the font style to Gotham Black. Okay. And then it's too big. The name is too big. So let me resize the name and reduce the space between the African women and the empowerment. Reduce it. Oh, too much. Let me go with 14. No, let's maintain the 13. Let's maintain this. Reduce the size. Okay. So we have our logo here. Let me group this and then name it logo. And enlarge the logo just a little bit. Okay, yeah. I think this is okay for me. Now the next thing to do is to add the social media handles. So I'll drag my social media icons here. Select the rectangular marquee tool and then select just the first 3 icons and cut them out by pressing Ctrl J. Now I'll convert them to smart object and then press Ctrl C and design and then Ctrl V to paste them. Now let's resize the social media icons. And then I'll give it the same color as the logo. So I'll select the FX and color overlay. Okay, we have the same color here. So now I've changed the color for the social media icons. The only thing left is to add the the social media name, their handle. So now we can just use the AW empowerment. So let's type out AW empowerment. And the font size is too big and we have to change the font style as well. So let's use Gotham medium. Let's go with the medium one and then place it here. Yeah, this is okay. So now let me do this. Yeah. So this is okay. Now we have our social media handles done. Let me group them and name it as a social media. Sorry. The last thing is to add the RM trademark. Let me close this. Now I have my RM trademark in place. And let me turn off these guys by pressing the Control and then the colon key. Nice. So guys, this is how to design a stunning social media post in Photoshop.